Hey, Alec here, and I have a question. Genres are an essential part of everyday life. From texts to videos to even essays, there's a general process that people must follow in order to make these effective. So that begs the question, what is a writing process? In general terms, a writing process is a journey in which a creator goes through to finish his work. This is a unique process for everyone, and everyone has their own specific way to finish a work. When commenting on his writing process, the legendary writer of the Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin said, "I think there are two types of writers, the architects and the gardeners." Essentially, he's saying that the architects plan their process very thoroughly, and while the gardeners allow their works to transform as they're making it. George Martin sees himself as a gardener. Now that we've discussed what a writing process is and a professional's writing process, I'd like to talk about mine. So, my writing process really started sophomore year of high school. So let's take a trip back about 2 years ago. In order to fully reflect on my writing, I believe it is essential to talk about my past. Here is the high school I went to, Desert Mountain High School of Scottsdale, Arizona. During my freshman and sophomore years, I really wasn't challenged to write in different genres. I just had to write the typical school essays where I had to summarize information or discuss a theme in a book. This never really developed my writing process because I wasn't being challenged mentally. But this all changed once I joined the International Baccalaureate program at Desert Mountain. The International Baccalaureate is an academically rigorous program that prepares students all over the world to study internationally. At Desert Mountain, it was the hardest program available to take. International Baccalaureate, or IB for short, was an eye-opener for me. I had to write in so many unknown genres. This includes biology lab designs, scripts for plays in Spanish, mathematical papers explaining phenomenons, psychology case studies, and so much more. My 2 years in this program forced me to develop an efficient writing process. I truly believe that this program taught me how to be a good writer. Without IB, I would have never learned how to adapt in different genres, and also, I would have never found a good writing process that works for me. My current writing process heavily relies on pre-planning and research. In research, I try to find the most credible sources and reliable sources, and I compile them together. In pre-planning, I take the compiled sources and I try to make them into a coherent, logical path for the reader to understand. Once research and pre-planning is completed, I'm ready to start the next part in the process. This part is actually creating or writing the project. Doing this takes me a very long time because this is my least favorite part. Once I do my extensive research, I feel that creating the project is redundant because I've already learned everything there is for the topic. But starting the creation is the hardest, but once I get going, I'm able to finish it in a timely manner. For me, procrastination is both a blessing and a curse. I usually work better under a time constraint, but it causes me to be very stressed out. This is a component of my writing that I still need to work on. To link this back to the writing processes that George Martin outlined, he would label me as an architect. Now that you guys understand my general writing process, I think it'd be a great time to talk about how our class, English 109H with Professor Sean Bowtie, has tested me as a writer and tested my writing process. To be quite honest, I don't really like writing too much, especially whenever it's a very common genre such as essays. But when the genre becomes like a podcast, a video essay, or even a QRG, I enjoy it much more. I feel that is because an essay is so restricting for words, but with these other type of genres, I'm allowed to expand and really show off my creativity. This class made me realize that time management is essential in college. For example, when the semester first started, we had so much blog work to finish. Project 1 was filled with an immense amount of work for me. I could not simply procrastinate. Firstly, I had to finish the blogs throughout the week, and getting behind those were very hellish. Secondly, I had to learn to understand the genre of podcast because it was totally brand new to me. And, on top of that, I had to learn how to use Audacity and effectively use recording technology. I feel that my time management skills in tackling writing situations are slowly improving, but it depends on the activity I'm doing. The reason I did not procrastinate on my podcast is because I was genuinely intrigued by the new genre and the topic I chose. I just found it exhilarating to finally create a piece in English that wasn't restricted to the confines of an essay and was about a topic I chose. I would consider myself a reader, writer, and time manager that's purely motivated by the subject or topic I'm talking about. And I think Project 2 is a great example of this. Project 2 made me realize how important it is to write about a topic that I enjoy. For Project 2, I had to write about typical genres in my major, political science. Those genres are typically refereed scholarly journals and convoluted government white papers. I did not find these interesting at all, and to top it off, I had to write an essay about it, one of my least favorite genres to work in. Because of these two reasons, I actually turned in my project too late solely because of procrastination. I just couldn't work on it because I had no desire to. This taught me a valuable lesson here. I need to write about something I'm passionate about, or else the writing process really slows up for me. I honestly love genres. For me, different genres kept this class very fun and exciting. Adapting to different scenarios that you're not used to is a great skill in life, and I believe learning new genre conventions practices just that. Out of all the projects I worked in, I believe Project 3 was the hardest genre to understand. The genre I chose for Project 3 was a quick reference guide. Aesthetics were never my strength, but for this genre, I had to learn how to use whitespace effectively. But learning a genre I was weak in made me desire to excel even further in this project. This is why I believe Project 1 is the most I'm proud about. I feel that I effectively took a genre that I knew nothing about and turned it into an effective use of its conventions. I absolutely love taking unknown conventions, whether it be a podcast, QRG, or video essay, and turning them into a work I can be proud of. Adapting to unfamiliar situations is a scenario I am starting to love. This course taught me many things about adapting to new situations and time management. Firstly, I learned how to adapt to many unknown scenarios. For example, I learned how to use Audacity, I learned how to use Microsoft Word to make a QRG, and also I learned how to use Microsoft Movie Maker to create the video essay that you're watching right now. And including this, I had to use other technologies such as microphones and even recording, and I'm actually using a makeshift lamp to hold my phone. Anyways, I learned that time management, I need a lot of ample time in order to create an effective project. And if I don't have that ample time, I usually turn the project and it's really bad, or I have to turn it in late. I'm still trying to learn how to find inspiration or desire to make projects I have no interest in. I need to learn how to make projects work for me or make them interesting to me. Also, I really need to learn how to take care of myself whenever I have deadlines due. Usually when I have a lot of deadlines or projects due in the next week, I cut off my sleep and I only get maybe 3 hours of sleep a night, and I cut off my eating. I don't really eat. This isn't healthy, and I need to find a way to balance my eating, sleeping, and working. My process isn't perfect yet, but I'm working to make it perfect very soon. Before I end this video in reflection, I just want to say thank you guys for such an amazing semester. I thoroughly enjoyed our class. Being put into different situations and being forced to adapt to them, as well as learning different genres and learning their respective conventions, really made me grow as a writer. These challenges improved my writing process also. Thank you guys so much again, and I hope you guys have a great summer.